Thank you very much for coming. Please have a seat. So let's discuss. I very well know that you're all students, and I'm not just going to come here and talk at you. We're going to have conversations. Because if I don't understand the challenges you're facing as students, the problems you're facing, then I cannot help you solve those problems, right? Now, in my time as a student, there were certain challenges I faced. And when I was asked what I want to tie to the conference, and I gave it Living Your Best Life. And when I began researching and trying to understand how to relate to you guys or how you can live your best life, a lot of things came to mind. So I decided to speak to some students, some people, and understand, okay, what do you understand by living your best life? When you say living your best life, what comes to your mind? Money? Who said money? Don't be shy, raise your hand up. Okay, what's your name?
Nelly.
Nelly. So Nelly said money. What else comes to mind?
Living life to the fullest,
Chibuzo.
regardless of your situation or class in society.
I like that. What's the name? Nice one. Now, living life to the fullest, regardless of your situation. I like that one. Now, we'll talk about that one. Does anybody want to go again? Something different. One more. There we go.
Having health, being healthy.
Nice one. What's the name? Dawi. Being healthy, having a healthy life. Of course, we know money is important. Well, I always say there are a few things that are more important in life than money, like life itself. Because if you don't have life, you can't enjoy money. Good health. How many of you have ever had toothache, simple toothache? Regardless of how much you have in your account, it feels like let the world just end. Right? So the importance of it. Of course, there are other health challenges you could have and you won't feel pain. So we take those ones for granted. But when there's pain associated with it, like little toothache, little injury, we understand that health is a big deal. So let's talk about money. You see, money is an interesting one, and that's one of the ones that came up when I was speaking to people around living your best life. Someone said we are a product of our environment. And I was born and brought up on the streets of Benin, so I understand the importance of money around here. We need money to shop. We need money to live a good life. I could stand here now and tell you money is not very important, but you won't understand what I'm saying, because when I was sitting where you were sitting and someone told me money is not important, I told them, I agree with you, money is not important, but I like to find out myself. How many of you know the Bible? We probably know the famous king called Solomon, who said vanity upon vanity is what? And he said vanity upon vanity is vanity after he has made a lot of money. The guy was stupidly rich, probably the richest guy ever in the Bible. And after accumulating that money, he said it was vanity. But this is the key. I'm not going to stay on the fact that he said it was vanity. I'm going to stay on the fact that he made the money first. So if you don't make money and I tell you money is not important, you won't understand. So let's speak the language you understand. First of all, before you can live your best life, you need money. There are other factors required to live your best life that is not money, but without money, it's going to be a struggle to live your best life, right? Yes. All right, so the question then is, how do we make money? How do you make money as a student? Why are you studying? Are you studying? Are you going to school because everybody is going to school, so you're required to go to school, or is there something you're trying to achieve at the end of this? Does anybody want to give me an answer? Why are you in uni this very minute? You could have been in the market shopping, making money, right? Or selling stuff and making money, but you're here, which means you're paying school fees, you're buying books, you're spending money. So why are you here if you want to make money?
We go to school because it's socially accepted way to learn how to make money.
All right. So we go to school because our society expects us to be educated, because it believes that if we're educated, then we can make money. That's what she said, yeah? Come on.
We go to uni, so we have the knowledge on how to further the business.
Okay. We go to uni to gain more knowledge that would help us increase our ability to explore what's out there and make money, right? But if you're going to come to uni so you can improve your knowledge to explore that, and you don't really understand what is being taught, how then can you make money? Because I always say knowledge is not power, but the application of knowledge is power. How can you explain something you don't really understand? So if you're in uni and you're being taught every day and you're not understanding what's being taught, how then can you apply that knowledge in the outside world to create wealth? Because the whole idea of coming to uni is to gain knowledge so you can create wealth, either through business, either through employment, either through owning your own entrepreneurship, or even doing what I'm doing. So of course your university expects you that when they teach you, you would learn, you would study, you will write your exams, you will make all A's. But the point is, we are coming to school so we can give ourselves a better chance of surviving out there. But there's one thing God gave to all of us. It's not education. Uniquely, each of us sitting here has our own unique gift and talent, right? And as a matter of fact, most of us here could do things like painting, drawing, maybe hair making, and what you're studying today may not even relate to that. Am I right? And a lot of times, this is where we miss it, because society expects us, to go get education. We then think that our education should take the place of our gift and talent in life. Rather, our education should be enhancing our gift and talent, should be complementing it, not becoming a replacement for your gift and talent. So I always encourage students, find your gifting, because that is the one thing God gave to you. That is the one thing you can blow with. So if you really want to live your best life, first thing first, it's not chasing money. Of course, money is important. See how we've come to this. Money is important, but don't chase money. Find out what your gift is and develop it. So the big question is, what is your gift? How do you know your gift? Someone said your gift is that which you do the best with the least amount of effort. So you sitting here right now, what is that thing which you do the best with the least amount of effort? That thing that your friend comes to you and say, oh, I'm facing this challenge, can you give me a little bit of advice? And then you sit there and like, okay, do it like this, do it like that. You know, people are being paid just to do that as counselors. And some of you are probably here sitting and studying law, but your gift is how to listen and give advice. And at the end of 4 years of studying, you just find out that you've walked a different route, which is not a road that God created for you. So what have you done? You've tried to use your education to replace your gifts. And you end up struggling through life because you're heading the right direction. Someone once said, do not be in a hurry to run too fast when you're running in the wrong direction. Because you waste time running in the wrong direction and realize that you should have been heading this way. It is important that you understand what your own gift is. And go. Do not choose your education based on what your friends are doing. Do not choose your lifestyle based on peer pressure. Or based on, oh, my friends are all wearing this stuff, it's fashion, so I have to wear it. It is not all things that are fashion that looks good on you. It may be the thing that is raining, but doesn't mean it will look good on you. And it may be very cheap, but it will look very good on you, that people will ask, oh, where did you get it? And you're like, just wait. When that sister bent down, select me, I select my own. It doesn't have to be a boutique. Are you with me up to this point? So again, in order to live your best life, we agree that it is good to make money. We agree that for you to make money, you need to find your gift and talent and enhance it and make the most of it. And whilst you're studying, your education is not a replacement for your gift and talent in life. It's meant to complement it. Your education is only an additional tool. Only an additional tool for you to use to make wealth. Same as experience, same as the lectures and teaching you're getting in church or in mosque, whatever your religion is. Same as the guidance you're getting from your parents. Because I promise you, a lot of the things you're learning today, if not about 50% of them that you're being taught on blackboard and every day, will not be applicable out there. But what your parents, what your mentors, what your guidance are teaching you every day, you will need that to survive. How many of you have ever done any sort of work that you've been paid for? Anything at all that you've been paid for? The thing you did that you got paid for, was it related to what you've been taught in school? But that thing you did that you got paid for, where did you learn it? And this is where people make mistake. A lot of people think school is just that place of gathering where you come and they teach you. No, school, by the dictionary definition, is any place you go to and gain knowledge. Which means if you go to church and you gain knowledge, it is school. If you go to the hairdressing salon and we're having an intelligent conversation and you learn something, it is school. So school is not just that place that gives you certification. Any place you go and gain knowledge is school. Now the question then is, what do you do with that knowledge? Because it's not about the knowledge you gain, it's about how you're able to apply that knowledge. So now we know, and we've agreed on some things that we need to live our best life. So now let's talk about the real key stuffs besides money. It's important to make money, we've agreed. In life, society creates certain boxes that restricts us from actually being ourselves. Being able to do what you want to do when you want to do it. Say what you want to say when you want to say it. Dress how you want to dress. So the question is, why do we even get ourselves into these boxes? Why do we get ourselves into these boxes? Because if you don't do it, society will judge you, friends will judge you. But do you really think people care? The world stops and everybody just waits to watch you pass and see how you're walking. Like, can't you see the way she's walking, like her two left leg? Like she has two left legs. Like people don't have problem and they are so worried about how you look, what you do. Do we really think that people are that jobless? 7.5 billion people on earth, and you think that they are just waiting to see how many of them have you even met? Out of the 7.5 billion, the people who know you are not even up to 0.0001%. And yet, you're wasting your one lifetime considering how they think, what they think about you, how you appear. Is it that serious? 7.5 billion people. How many have you met in life so far? And because we're not free to do what we want to do, to enhance our gifts, you know, maybe your gift is being a mechanic, or being a painter. Now you're thinking, if they see me in mechanic clothes, yeah, they will judge me. So you're not developing your gift. So you don't have the opportunity to make the most of your life and travel the world. So now you're more focused on what people think about you here, right here, and you're losing your whole life. So if you really want to live your best life, first thing first is that you have to be free. First thing first is you have to be free. And that freedom needs to come mentally up here. You need to realize that what you do in life should only matter to you where you're going to in life. What other people think about it should count for nothing. Because I promise you tomorrow, if you're broke and if you're suffering, those people, you won't see them. A lot of people in your class today who you think they are judging you and they have things to say about you, in fact, they have their opinions. You won't see them, my friend. The people I went to school today, I don't know where they are, a lot of them. So why then are you wasting your life, only one life you have, trying to please people who are irrelevant to the whole situation? People who their opinion, even if they go on BBC today and talk about you, their opinion counts for jack. It's not going to make you taller. It's not going to make you shorter. It's not going to change the price of Gary Sef in the market. And yet you're having sleepless nights. You're not doing what you need to do. When you're supposed to be reading, you're not reading because they'll talk, say, man, you'll not be the real babe. You need to be out there partying with them. Who cares? Who here? I mean, they speak the language proper. And these boxes we're talking about, there are a lot of them. There's a relationship box, there's a religion box, there's society box, there's family box. We all came from families. Our families expect certain things from us. True of us. We have parents who expect certain things from us. As a matter of fact, this is the interesting thing with parents. They live their own life and they want to live your own life. So they want to tell you, of course, their parental advice is important, but we also need to realize that our gift, our uniqueness, in most cases, if not all cases, is different from our parents. So if you then want to emulate exactly word to word, step by step, what your parents did, you go fail, because your road may not be their road. It is important that you have a mentor who guides you, but it's important that you know yourself first, know your strength, know what you're able to do better than every other person out there. Find your gifts. Are you guys with me up to this point? So do we still think money is very important if we're not free? And I agree with you. After all, we are all a product of our environment. In this environment, cash is king. Money rules the world. That's what happens in Nigeria. If you don't have money, nobody knows you. So I agree with you. If I was speaking in the UK now, money won't come up because it's not a thing. Money is not a thing. Happiness is a thing. Because you could have money and you will not be happy. And I completely agree with you, because when I was in Nigeria, money was a big issue. Even as a student, I was working and studying. But where I am today, money is not a thing. It's not because I have all the money on earth, but because I understand that even without money, you can be happy. Happiness is a choice. My uncle said that to me yesterday. Happiness is a choice, and I agree. Without money, you can be happy. See, you can be broke, and you still create happiness with your friends and still enjoy your life. And still have a conversation. We'll stay happy, we'll smile, we'll go sleep. True or false? And I've also seen people who are very rich, yeah, and they are sad. You see, there's this thing called noise. And a lot of us get carried away with what they call noise in life. Money is one of those things that are called noise. It is important, but it isn't the prime asset of life. And my hope, which is why we do this, why we come to speak to youths, is so that you can make money quickly before you get to your deathbed. So you can realize before you die that money is not that important. There are other things that are very important. Because if you don't make it, you will not understand that money is not that important. And let me give you a clear example. How many of you have ever walked out to buy a pair of shoes or maybe a dress? You're like, I want this. And you worked so hard because you wanted to buy it. Please lift your hand. Good. And when you buy it, you get that adrenaline rush. You're so happy that you bought that top or you bought that shoe, right? After 1 week, do you still place the same amount of value on that shoe? After you wear that shoe 3 times, do you place the same amount of value? Yes. Why?
Yes and no.
Okay. Yes and no. All right, let's go with no. So let's find out why we no longer place the same amount of value on that shoe after we've bought it. Come on, who wants to give me an answer? Because what? You've seen it too much. Okay, but it's still the same shoe. You value that shoe. You work so hard. You wasted time. Okay, give me.
Surely new fashion come out and you might like that one more than the one you have.
Now that is interesting. Surely new fashion comes out. Yeah? Who decides what new fashion is? That is the box we're talking about. So when you move with society, you're moving with whatever society says is fashionable. If Beyonce comes out tomorrow and say, you know, we were all here when Kanye West came out and started wearing tier jeans. Initially, we thought the guy has lost his sense. Now everybody's wearing tier jeans. Why? Because it's a celebrity. So who said you can't come up with your own fashion and let everybody copy you? Who told you those guys are better than you just because they are on TV?
I cannot just come up with something. He has like a voice when he say in society. So him doing something and society copying because he already has this.
He has presence. I like that. Now she said, it is difficult to come up with our own line of clothing because Kanye West already have a line of clothing and has influence, and people are following him, right? But do you know that he was not born with that? He started from somewhere. He was probably sitting down like this someday thinking, oh, it's difficult, you know, to become someone like Denzel Washington who was older, you know, thinking, how do I make it? So the question is, why are you not starting today? Because you can never arrive at your destination in life except you get started. So why are you not starting today? Someone said today is always the best time to begin the rest of your life right. So what stops you from deciding to that, okay, I like this kind of fashion and I can't find it in the shop. I'm going to learn how to sew, and I'll start that. Of course, you're going to start small. Our biggest fear is that we'll fear of failing. We're just scared that we're going to fail. If I do it, I'm going to fail. But when you start wearing it, there's going to be someone who looks at it on your body and like, oh, that looks good. Where did you get it from? Oh, I did it myself. I can make one for you. This is how much it's going to cost. And that's how a lot of these guys started. Some of them didn't even start doing their own line of clothes. They just did what they know how to do. Music, like Beyonce. Music, she's just singing, and all of a sudden people say, oh, you have lots of followers just from singing. Can we start doing line of clothing for you? She worked on her gifts. For those who follow football, Ronaldo has his own line of clothing, but who is he? He's a footballer. He worked on his gifts. I have not said these guys worked on their education. I have not said these guys chase money. I have not said these guys worked on peer pressure. They worked on their gifts, and the world saw them. So how many of us seated here right now can confidently say to ourselves that we are working on our gift or developing it? Right now, how many of us spend at least 1 hour a day out of the 24 hours of every day working on our own gift, on our own self? But if I ask you a question and say, how many of us wants to make money? So how many of us wants to make money in life? So how are you going to make the money if you're not working on your gift? Do you guys know how many graduates out there with CVs not without job? No. Hang on. I believe everyone here knows someone who's graduated and has no job. Okay, so we know people who have graduated and they have no job. We know those who are working on their gifts, they are going to make money. And we want to make money. So why are we heading in the wrong direction? They say if we know better, we will do better. And we know better because we've just agreed that we know that through your gift, you can make money. So why are we still heading in the wrong direction? Just because society, peer pressure, says we need to go in this way, the box. Everybody is heading in that direction. So we are following, even when we know that direction is not the right direction. So what stops us to becoming the person who says, no, this is the right way to go? 7.5 billion people on earth, not even 1% of them are billionaires in life. Why? Because only very few are confident enough and say, no, I'm not going in the direction of the general public. I'm going to head in my own direction. Have you wondered why we don't have that many millionaires on earth? Should we go on? Bill Gates dropped out of school. What's the name of the guy on Facebook? What happened to him too? Tesla, the most richest guy, Amazon. All of these guys did not sit down like you. So how come they made money? You know why? They developed their gifts and then they are living their best life. Are you guys still with me? Are you guys still with me? Hope I've not annoyed you by telling you that you've been wasting the last few years of your life. All right, so we know money is important, but not the prime asset of life. We know to live your best life, you need to be free. But this is interesting. We also know that in order to be happy in life, to live your best life, you need to grow. There need to be growth. Which means your you of today need to be better than your you of yesterday. When I talk about growth, you know, a lot of times we ask the wrong question in life. We talk about, oh, how do I become successful? No. The truth is, we're not even trying to be successful. We're trying to better our yesterday. We're trying to get ahead in life. Because I believe all of us here this morning woke up and were able to have breakfast. People who are not successful, and we know where they are struggling. They don't even have clothing to wear. So first of all, you are all okay. So the question is, how do you grow and get to the next level? And that takes us back to how many of you are working on your gifts every day? How many of us even know that thing which will do the best more than others, which is called our gifts? How many of us knows our gifts? That thing which we know we do the best with the least amount of effort. Have you ever sat down and asked yourself, come on guys, don't be shy. Have you ever sat down and asked yourself, I'm going to take this 5 minutes and reflect, what is it that I do best more than my friends? Okay, so a few of us know our gift. For those of us who don't know our gift, please take out time and ask yourself, what is that one thing you can do better than your friends with the least amount of efforts? Because that one thing will be what you break through with. You see, I see a lot of girls out there I want to be a model, I want to be a model. It's not everybody that will be models, oh. My sister, you go catwalk, your leg go break. You no go blow. You no go blow, I promise you. Yeah, I'm not crushing your dream, I'm redirecting your dream. So don't find your gift and decide what direction you're going. I've seen people go to the shop and buy expensive clothes, and when they wear it, the expensive clothes just becomes common. Because it no work for you. But if you find what work for you, when you find what works for you and you do it, you'll be setting the pace. People will want to be like you. And we all know that thing we're uniquely good at. We're better than our friends. Friends come to us for advice, for help us do assignments. It's not everybody that will make first class. You know that, right? So if we say, we know that there are graduates who don't have job now, and we're all reading, trying to make first class. And if it does that mean that if you don't make first class, your life is finished? No. So what's the plan then? it's important that you find your gift and you develop it and keep growing. Every day you build on what you did the last day. Yesterday I was 60%. Today I'm going to go 61%. Tomorrow I'm going to go 62%. You know, when you blow, it's because you become the best at what you do. So first of all, God has blessed you with your own unique gift. If you don't develop it, he said that which you do not use, you lose. So if you don't develop it, it dies with you, which is why Dr. Miles Morrow said the greatest place on earth is the burial ground. People dying with their gifts. So if you then decide that you've identified your gift and you want to develop your gift and you develop it, do you know what's going to happen? People will come and seek you. A lot of us sitting here wants to go abroad. Do you know there are millionaires in Nigeria? The richest man in Africa lives in Africa. He lives in Nigeria, the richest man in Africa. He did not go abroad to become the richest man. So the problem, it's not the fact that you're in Nigeria, the problem is up here. Now you're focused, you're saying, oh, I can't make it in Nigeria, Nigeria is tough. No, you're not doing the right things. I came from Nigeria, I grew up in Benin, I made the money that took me out to do my master's here in Benin. I didn't go to Lagos to make that money, I didn't go to Abuja, it was here in Benin I started. So that you're not commanding the kind of wealth you need, that you think you need to live your best life, it means you're not doing the right thing. Albert Einstein once said insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different results. The same thing you did yesterday that did not work, you're doing it today, and you're expecting that tomorrow a miracle will happen. And then you see young men who are going to put their money on bet. What's that betting whole nonsense? You bet Arsenal yesterday, you lose. Tomorrow you want to go bet Man United. When you go learn? Now of course you not go learn. If you're doing the same thing and it's not working, does that not tell you that something is wrong, that you need to do something different? You blame village people, have you? Village people, they are on, they drink and find how to survive. 7.5 billion people. You keep doing a stupid thing and you're blaming village people. They are there, doing their own. They have nothing to do with it. They say in life we make decisions and those decisions make our future. It is not the village people that make our future, it's the decisions we make. That you're here right now is because you decided to be here right now. You could have been anywhere else, right? That you're hearing this right now is because you decided to be here right now. Because we make decisions and those decisions will make our future. So when you make stupid decisions, what kind of future would you get? The smallest things in life, we take them for granted. Simple things like working on ourselves. We spend more time watching ridiculous TV shows like Big Brother. We spend more time watching football, following people who are, that is their job. Ronaldo, that's his job, he's getting paid for it. He signed a contract. Rather than working on ourselves, we spend more time following people who what they do has no bearing to what we do. The only people you should be following in life are people who are like mentors to you. People who you're trying to get to where they got to by doing what they are doing. So if I'm following Beyonce, it means because I'm trying to be a singer. And I want to understand how she started, how she developed her voice. Or else, man, we know they walk out the same road. Am I making any sense? It's like trying to be an engineer and you're following a doctor. You're never going to have any conversation that would help you pass your exams in engineering. So it's important that if you want to live your best life, of course, we said money is necessary. You need to be free up here. We are no longer in the years where we were, our forefathers were bound slavery. Someone once said to me that Nigeria is the worst it has ever been. And I turned to him and said, are you saying it's worse than when our forefathers were taking slaves abroad? Have you seen, how many of you have seen those slave movies? Yeah. Are you saying Nigeria today is worse than that time? No. Are you saying Nigeria is worse than when our fathers could not get education? No. Today we have education, we're not slaves. Nobody is maltreating us or killing us. And we're saying it is worse. Is that not laziness? Do you know what people went through to get education? And yet we have education at the tip of our fingers, but we're only on Facebook following people who have nothing. There's YouTube where you can learn. Do you know that you can, whatever you're studying in uni, yeah, the only reason you're here is just to get certification. You can learn more on YouTube than your classes. You can learn more in your library. There are books than your classes. It's available. but we're not using our time very well. And yet we blame village people. The village people, they try to find out to drink garri and coconut to survive to see tomorrow, they blame them. Let me know how it goes in 20 years' time. When the village people don't die, finish, you're still where you are. We'll come find who to blame. And lastly, I want to talk about impact. You wouldn't know when you're living your best life, when you're able to create impact. The reason Kanye West was able to wear torn jeans and we all started wearing torn jeans because he's creating impact. The reason you're all following Ronaldo is because he's creating impact. He's made himself the best at what he does. So you cannot be living your best life if you're not changing someone's life, if you're not impacting someone, if you're not inspiring someone. And you cannot inspire someone when you've not grown. They said you cannot pour out of an empty cup. Garbage in, garbage stays. So if you do not develop yourself, you will have nothing to give and you cannot create an impact. You know, someone once said a lot of people sound more intelligent with their mouth closed. Why? Because there's nothing inside them. How can you create impact when you've not developed yourself? When you've not given yourself that which you need to be a master in what you do? He said if you spend 1 hour every day developing yourself in an area of life, studying in an area of life, in 5 years, you'll be a master in that area of life. 1 hour only out of your 24 hours every day. In 5 years, you'll be a master in that area. And when you become a commander, a master in an area, what happens? People will seek you, right? That money you need will come. A lot of you are spending 5 years in school. You have classes 8 hours a day. And you will come out at the end of the day, nobody is seeking you. You still don't have a job. Does that not tell you something is wrong? That means the 8 hours you're supposedly spending in school was not spent rightly in the right thing. Because if you spend 1 hour every day for 5 years, you'll be a master in that area. You cannot be living your best life and not be creating impact. If you have to explain to people the impact you're creating in life, it means there's actually no impact because it's visible. It's one of those things that you cannot hide. When you're making the difference, it is visible. How many of you have ever been in a situation where you walked into and there was a problem and you were able to solve it? Can you imagine the feeling when you come in there and you're the one who solved the problem everybody could not solve? That's how you know that in that area, at that particular time, you're living your best life. So imagine if that feeling was the same for you every day, every time, every second. Do you think your life will be better? Do you think you will be happier? Do you think you will be rich? Because people will come after you to help you solve their problem. See, this is what people don't get. Nobody gives anybody money in life. People pay you for the solution you provide. So the question is, what solution can you provide? We keep missing it. Nobody wants to employ you because you're a graduate. People want to employ you because you can provide solutions to their complaints. Nobody just wants to sit down and throw money away. So the question is, with your certification, what solution can you provide? That's why they ask you, do you have work experience? Show us your history where you provided solution. And a lot of us who are just going through school, we get opportunities upon opportunities to provide solutions. We just waste it. If you want to live your best life, you need to set yourself free up here. You need to seek growth with everything in you. Every day, make sure you do something towards developing your gifts. Identify it. Spend 1 hour. After you finish reading, if you know you're good in tailoring, spend 1 hour. Just sew something. That's how you develop it. If you want to be a newscaster, spend 1 hour. You have your mobile phone. Stop screwing people and just sit down in front of your phone and just read something out. You get better. 1 hour is not too much, is it? You wake up in the morning, the first thing you do 5 a.m. and say 5 to 6, I'm just going to do this. In 5 years, you'll be a master. And when you become a master in that area, you'll be able to create impact. The younger generation coming will look at you and like, oh, we want to be like him. Nobody who is high up there today started from where they are. They worked their way through the process. Everybody wants to be diamond in life, but none of us wants to get caught. But do you know what diamonds goes through to become diamond? We all love diamonds. They are expensive. We love gold. Have you seen the process of refining gold? It goes through hell, fire. But we don't want to go through it, but we want to have that lifestyle at the end. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry to crush your dreams. Help me apologize to everyone out there. It's not going to happen. When you step out of this place today, when you're walking home, when you look at those women sitting on the roadside hawking, you look at those men sweating, it's not because you're better than them. It's because they failed to find their gift and do it and capitalize on it when they had the opportunity. Let that be a constant reminder to you that if you don't work on your gifts, if you don't get yourself on the right path, the probability of you ending like that in this country is real. Except you have rich parents who are going to send you abroad. Then you're fine. At least until you go abroad and realize that the same thing happens. But if you came from a poor home like I came from a poor home, it means you've got work to do.